Hey guys, welcome back. Next up on a bench, we got this little Model K here to do. This one came with no cord on it, so we have no way to test it. I mean, I'm not going to, go and hook up a cord and plug it and just test it since we're disassembling it anyways. So we're going to go through and we're going to get this one disassembled and ready to go. This one's getting completely restored. The color that's going on this one is an Illusion series color called Green Ice. It should be a really interesting look on it, and we'll of course put the decal on here. You can see this decal is a little different than the others. This one just says Sunbeam Mixmaster on it, and it doesn't say automatic on it. So we'll have to make sure that we put the correct decal on here, to go with this. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start disassembling on this one and see what we find inside of here. I think we'll start with our brushes. And surprisingly, brushes look like brand new, so that may be a good sign for the rest of this. Let's go ahead and get into our gearbox on here. Clear out our screw slots here. Oh, don't you snap on me. Sometimes these worry me because they'll get some corrosion in there. You can see, I don't know if you can see on there, a little white on the threads is just corrosion, and sometimes they'll lock them screws in there and them suckers will snap on you. And I still got one more to go, so I shouldn't be breathing yet, but then you got to drill them out. Pain in the butt. Yeah, this one doesn't want to move either. I'm tempted to just give it some heat here. Strip off some of these other parts and give it some heat here. I think that's what I might do. Maybe I can save it from snapping in there, because yeah, they're a pain once they snap. They're not a big screw at all, so it don't take much for them to snap, but they are a pain when it comes to trying to get them drilled out. So you get another screw in there. Get this handle off of here. And this handle is a wooden handle. We'll just be painting the handle. Quite a few parts that go just to hold the handle on here. Alright, let's open up the back here. Oh, that one. Maybe. I don't know. That's not the correct socket, but close enough. Okay. Speed control knob is decent shape. It doesn't look like busted or chipped. A lot of times it's chipped or bad. He's got them interesting speed controls. basically this just goes in here like so, and these little tabs engage on there, and that's basically your speed control. You can see it's got quite a bit of corrosion on it. But that goes through and it rides on here and it makes contact with your different pins for your different speeds, and hopefully this resistor is good because I do not have another one to replace it with right now. So yeah, all we can do is just cross our fingers and hope that this one here is good. But we're going to have to take it off the stand here and take our cord connection off and point this down so you guys can see. Basically, we got to free up our wires that go to that resistor, so we can just pull it out with the wires. And then we can test that to make sure it's good. Alright. The wiring in here is a jumbled up mess. Hard to really tell what's what by first glance. I mean, everything's just jumbled up into a blob right now, but we'll go through here and try and get these separated. Well, that one was easy enough, it just broke. I think everything in here is broken off. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so we'll pull these through, and this is our resistor unit, and it's got the mica insulator on the back here. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting deal there for sure. I was going to test it really quick, but I believe my ohm meter is out in the garage. So before we put it back in, before we put it together, we're going to test this and make sure that's good. If not, then we're going to be on the hunt for another one. Alright, and then we got a big old GABA wiry mess here going up towards the front. I can see we're going to have to do some wiring work on here because these wires are in pretty bad shape. So I'm just going to snip everything free. That will help a lot when it comes time to pull everything apart. And we do have a little ground screw under here. Not that this thing is grounded by any means, but there is a terminal for the RF that was attached to that. Alright, so I'll put this back on the stand here. And I think I'm going to get some heat on here right now. Just got to plug it in. And you're probably going to see grease and oil and stuff start to drip and run out of there as everything heats up here. And I don't want to get the entire thing hot. Basically, just want to get the area where the metal is, where that screw goes in hot, just to get it to expand enough to where it'll break the seal of the corrosion. Guns make all kinds of weird noise. Go. That come out easy peasy now. Sometimes a little heat, man, is just the ticket for that. Alright, this is going to be hot, I know it. Alright, you see we'll have to clean that off. Let me set that down. You can see on the turntable here with grease that already started running out of it. Fortunately, there wasn't a lot of grease in here. I mean, if you look at this, it's pretty barren in there for grease, and what is in there is pretty. It was probably a lot harder and crumblier, but you know, it remelts with the heat. So I'm sure it wasn't originally this soft before I heated it up. I like working on these ones here from the 30s. These are some of my favorite ones of all. You know, I like the Model Ks and M4Js. All that. I have a Model K myself, and it's the demonstration model, but I use it. I did use it. I gotta work on the speed control on mine. Not sure what's wrong with it. It's not the resistor on it. It might be one of the pins on the on that brass piece that you turn that turns with the bakelite knob. Might be off. Might be snapped off. I don't know. I haven't really taken a look at it yet. All right. So happy to have that off. Go ahead and get these off. This one right here on the left hand side, if you're facing the front, is reverse threaded, so you got to do righty loosey. Take that one off, and then this right here will be lefty loosey. And when that one came out with the oil wick, this one's still got the wick stuck to the shaft there. So I'll just go ahead and get that off. Set those aside. These are all parts that got to get cleaned up. That's about all we can do on that part right now. Let's go ahead and pull this out, and then we'll take those two screws out. We can start to separate our motor halves here. Okay, that looks decent. Yeah, these screws, I haven't snapped one of these yet, but these worry me sometimes. Sometimes these suckers really get bound in here too. these weren't too bad. If I was able to get them with this screwdriver, they weren't too bad. Sometimes I got to break out the big one. Alright, so now we can, I'm going to tilt this up, make sure you guys can see. I want to start separating this. I think we are. There we go. And I was going to say until we get to our, until we can disconnect our leads here for the brush holders, but don't have to worry about it this time, obviously. Okay. If you look at the, I bet you those are the original brushes, because if you look at this armature, I mean, there's a little darkness on it, you know, a dark line on there from the where the brush is right, but there is zero wear, and that's not even that dark on there. So I don't think this thing has really been run. The shaft on this thing is bone dry, of course. But I'm willing to bet that once we get this thing done, it's going to be a runner. I'm almost jealous because, man, I wouldn't mind having another one of these. I'm going to have to start looking around. Alright, so I'm going to go back down to where you can see here. I've got to, hopefully, these set screws are coming out. I got to get these set screws out of here so I can pull these shafts out. And let me spread open that so I also want to talk about greasy parts on. Yeah, these aren't going to be as easy as I thought. These are going to be about as difficult as that Model 1 I just did. Okay. Yeah, that one's not going. The only thing I don't like about some of these old ones is these dang set screws, man. They really get in there. Alright, I want to set this aside then, because, well, actually I'll get my brush holders out now, but I'm going to have to do some work on getting those set screws out. I guess I did put it away. I can tell they're not going to be very cooperative. Now, at least the brush holders were really cooperative. They'll pull them out with fingers. All oily and greasy, which isn't good. That part's supposed to be dry. Alright, set that aside. Now, I'll work on get the field coil out of here, and hopefully, with a little luck, it'll come right out. There's that RF filter that's not being reused. Yeah, no such luck, huh? Well, I wonder, I'm going to just warm this up a bit to see if I can get that to pop out as opposed to beating on it. Just got to be careful, I don't want to get it hot because I don't want any, start melting any of the coating on there. best way to tell if you make sure you're not getting it too hot is just keep your fingers on it. If you get to the point where you can't touch it with your fingers, you probably got it too hot. But I see that didn't really work either, so we're gonna have to try to pop it out. It might only take like one hit just to jar it loose. So I find something right that size. Yeah, it may only take one hit. Because these things usually you can pull them right out. These are ones I just do not like hitting them. No good spot to hit it either. Alright, we have got it out. This thing fought every inch of the way coming out, but wires look good on here. I mean, of course, got to extend these. Field coil itself looks good. Why it was so tight in there, I couldn't tell you. Never seen one that tight anywhere, especially in one of these. I'm not really sure. Usually you just give it a tap like that and it'll fall out in your hand. But anyways, we've got it pretty much stripped down and ready to go. We gotta take the pin out of here that holds it to the stand. Might as well pop that out right now while I'm standing here talking about it. And it may not go that way. It may go this way. Never seem to get these right. And I'll move this down because I'm going to have to knock myself everywhere. There. I got a pin out. And the only thing that's left in here is a bushing down there. Now I just gotta find what did I use to get that bushing out with last time. There's something that fits in here perfectly. I'll get that out later then. So you guys don't have to sit here and watch me deal with that. So now I've got these gears. Oh, and the other thing I noticed was on these gears there's quite a bit of drag. This one not as bad, but this one pretty severe. So even if it did run, I had a cord and it did run, it would be having an issue because of that. It wouldn't be running right. So let me work on these and I'll be back as soon as I get those out. Alright, we finally managed to get those set screws out of there. We've got everything else all completely taken apart. This is ready to go. Somebody's got to be degreased and then get sandblasted and powder coated. We got some more parts here to be degreased, and these are all the other parts here that got to get cleaned out. This is strange. Now you had this one here in the Model 1 the other day that had those set screws that were really stuck in there, and I went out and I bought this set right here. This is you know, a small set of vice grips. They're actual vice grips by Irwin Tools, you know, the originator of the vice grips, and bought these, and these are the biggest pieces of crap. I mean, you can see how loose the end of that is, and if you crank it all the way down, you can see they don't even line up. But you know, you get them on and you try to twist it, and this just moves and it slides right off of it. So how I ended up getting those was taking my trusty Craftsman vice grips made in China, and these are probably made in China too, don't let them fool you. I get these clamped on it, and then I had to clamp this onto here just to keep these locked together, to keep them from twisting, and then I was able to turn it that way. A lot of work and crap just for a tiny little set screw. You know, you'd think something like this would be able to handle it, but Irwin Tools are just not as good as they used to be, that's for sure. I mean, these doesn't even look cheap pieces of crap. But what I do like though is these little, I mean, these are needle nose, so when these things are really stuck on there, I mean, they do a good job getting them off, but sometimes you just need a little bit more leverage and a little bit more force, clamping force on them, and that's not what these are made for. But these do an amazing job, and these are just cheap brand Tecton needle nose, and these are the best needle nose I've ever owned. So I'll probably, when I pick up more pliers, I'm going to look for this brand here. Just something I want to throw out there. But anyways, we're going to get this all done, powder coated, ready to go, and get it back together, and when we're ready to fire it up, we'll bring you guys back and we'll see how it runs. So we'll catch you then. Alright, we've got this Model K all wrapped up, and I bet you guys are surprised to see the color that's on here. This is the Illusion Lime Green, I believe it's lime green. It's Illusion green color with a lot of metal flake in it, and it's a pretty cool look and a pretty cool effect on it. But anyways, you know, we've got everything done in here. We've got, you know, new cord on here, all new grease. We've got the handle all painted up, although I probably shouldn't be touching it because it's not completely cured yet. We got a decal on there. We polished everything up on here, and let's go ahead and turn this on and listen to this thing run. Alright, so as you can tell, this is a 3-speed mixer here. All 3 speeds work on it. The resistor was good in it. The internal wiring was pretty decent. We did put some heat shrink tubing on the wires from the resistor, just because they get kind of a sharp angle going through 2 little holes in the back here. So we just put that on there for protection. Let me see if I can give you guys a bit of a close-up on this finish here, so you guys can actually see this. Sorry about that creaking noise there, but there is the finish on there. There's no way that I'm going to be able to do this any. Oh, I gotta stop touching that handle. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this any justice on a camera here, but you know, hopefully you guys can get a decent idea of what's going on here with it. And you can see the illusion effect is you'll see like light greens and dark greens depending on the angle of, you know, where the light is hitting on it. But yeah, it's a very cool look, and I think the customer's going to be really happy with the color that he picked on this one. So we're going to get it wrapped up and ready to send back to him. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Give us a thumbs up, because, you know, that's the only way that we know if anybody's actually liking these videos. And don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified when we, you know, post any other videos. We've got a few coming up. We have a Model 11 that we got to put together that's in a different color. Nothing wild like this, but it's a different color. And then we've got a Model 3 to do. Looks like another Model 1, I think an M4J, that are getting done, and we've also got a triple whip that has an issue with the beaters. The timing is off on the gear, so we got to take apart that and diagnose that and see if we can fix that up. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate the likes, the comments, and the views, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.